When you place your definition of abundance on something at the level of the illusion in a symbol, then it can be effed with at any moment. We talk about that. Any moment it can be gone. And then you're like, oh my gosh, oh crap. Welcome back to One's journey of unwinding the mind and, of course, your daily microdose. Now tune in to the latest episode of One's journey. Oh, today I'm really feeling it, guys. I'm going to do a video on abundance. So my first thing is, so often I'm like, what the F? Why do I not have abundance even though I'm told I'm wholly abundant? But the problem is, what is my source of abundance? What am I viewing as my source of abundance? And so often we are taught or we are trained in this illusion that our source of abundance is through ego level love, it is through the money in our bank account, it is through status. That is the representation of abundance. But those are all symbols. Those are symbols that literally are false definitions of what abundance truly is. And when you place your definition of abundance on something at the level of the illusion in a symbol, then it can be effed with at any moment. We talk about that. Any moment it can be gone. And then you're like, oh my gosh, oh crap. And this kind of goes along with my discussion about a walking stick versus a crutch, and how the things within the illusion, the second we allow them to turn into crutches or seek our salvation or our abundance or whatever within, is the second we've gone down the dangerous road of experiencing pain and separation and sacrifice, because that's the ego's belief system. When we talk about that you are wholly abundant and that you are eternal love that is abundance, that is when you realize your source of abundance, and your true source of abundance being the Holy Spirit, being the one, being the eternal love, the unconditional love. That is where your source comes from. And when you are able to switch your source from illusionary based abundance or symbols representing your abundance, and really see that you are wholly abundant all the time, because you have the Holy Spirit, you are it, you are all of it, then it doesn't matter what looks at the level of form. One day you could have $1 million in your bank account, and the next day you could have $1 in your bank account, and you would feel just as abundant. And the tools that are being used can switch in a heartbeat. That is what following the Holy Spirit is about giving your day to the Holy Spirit so you can be guided to the abundance. But it doesn't always look as you believe it should look. And when you don't have a belief of how it should look at the level of form, you don't have a specific symbol it needs to show up as, you can understand your abundance in every moment. You can truly sit in that abundance and just ruminate in it. And I know for me recently, a lifelong struggle, money is always a large struggle of abundance for me. And especially, I grew up, maybe I guess you would consider upper middle class, like we had the money to buy things, we didn't struggle. My father, on the other hand, was more lower class, and struggled and talked a lot about money and a lot of shame and guilt on money. And I just had a lot of different money narratives that were presented in my life. And then as I got older and I started to expand and realize, like, oh my gosh, how important money is to me, I started to place all of this weight on it. And then I built my business, and so much weight was placed on my significance, my impact in the world only was represented by the amount in my bank account. And I remember the business coach I had at the time literally said that. He was like, don't feel guilty about money, because the more money in your bank account, the more impact you're actually having, and the less in your account, the less impact you're having. So I started to have this interesting correlation of extending love being tied to an ego illusionary thing of abundance, which being money. And then, if you know my story, in a matter of a moment, I lost it all. And that really ticked me off, because I'm like, I'm doing all the abundance practices of manifesting, and I had money all throughout my house. I think I learned that from Gabby Bernstein or Jen Shapiro, maybe, I can't remember. But literally, I had like people come to my house and they're like, Ashley, what is going on? I had like $5 bills in the fridge. I had a $100 bill on my nightstand. I had money all throughout the house, and that was really to like normalize money, to make money not carry so much weight, which it literally did the opposite. It caused so much weight to be placed on money, because I was constantly seeing it was a constant reminder. And the funny story is with that is when I got completely broke, I was so grateful for all that cash throughout my house, because I had some money to get me by for a little bit until I didn't. But it's so interesting the weight we place on money, and that being our abundance, and how I have done that, and the love I have for myself, the love I have for others. People that are billionaires would pay all that they had to experience the love I have. But because my mind is tied in abundance of needing money in my bank account, I often discredit the abundance I'm experiencing every day. Because abundance isn't about form, even at love, right? Like, it's not even that. But I have to remember, what is my source? And if I truly allow my source to be that of the Holy Spirit, is truly when it doesn't matter the tool that's being presented to experience my abundance or to utilize my abundance within the illusion. And the same goes to, say, building a business. I experienced this as well with this Patreon channel. And my Patreon channel, Big Miracle Energy, if you're watching this on YouTube, is I built this and it was like, this was going to be the platform where I was going to have sustainable income, and it was going to just sustain. It was going to be, I really wanted this community. I'm telling you about the abundance piece of it though, but I had wanted a community, and I wanted a community of like-minded individuals. And in order for that, I felt like they needed to have skin in the game. And so then came money. So then of course, part of me is like, oh, abundance is the amount of people in my Patreon. Abundance is the amount of money my Patreon is making. And really going all in on that. And it wasn't happening. And at one point I thought about just abandoning ship. Be like, oh, move from that to another thing. And I was like, no, I have to stay committed to this. But I felt pulled to YouTube as well. So it wasn't that I threw away that tool, or that tool has to be anything. It has built a beautiful community. It's not the size I wanted. But then I allowed for myself to then move into the YouTube, which I will tell you, it was a process of releasing weight that I did place on the Patreon that I was not aware of, and freeing it up and seeing like YouTube is just another wonderful thing. I love to make videos. I love to connect with like-minded individuals. Here's another platform to do that. And that's the beauty when it comes into abundance. There is no laser focus. I have to do it this way. It's just endless opportunities. It's truly the place where endless opportunities exist. And that's truly what abundance is. Abundance is not the amount of money in your bank account or the amount of whatever you have. Abundance is really just limitless opportunities. Limitless ability to, at any given moment, shift your perspective and see another opportunity that is presented to you, and know that you are always wholly abundant. You have everything you already need. But in the illusion, smoke and mirrors make us believe that we don't have everything we need. You know, you don't have the latest Hermes bag. You don't have the latest pair of Adidas. You don't have the Stanley cup. Instead, you've got the Yeti cup. Oh God, right? I've got the Yeti cups that immediately ages you versus the Stanley cup, the new generation. But that's where we tend to get caught up. But none of that shit actually matters. It's all a part of the illusion. So the question is, where is your source of abundance? Where are you placing your weight in the source? Where are you getting your source of abundance from? Is it from the illusion? Do you think abundance is going to come to you in your bank account? Do you think abundance is going to come to you in the man you're going to find, or woman you're going to find, or they you're going to find? Where is your abundance? Or is it in the Holy Spirit? where you know it doesn't matter what it looks like at the level of form, because you are always wholly abundant at the end of the day. You have everything you need. You have more than everything you need. You have it all. You are all of it. Well, okay. As you know, I do these videos to walk myself and to teach myself, because in giving is receiving, and we are all one, so we're all learning. And this video was a video I felt greatly pulled by spirit to make, because this is an area that I continue to struggle up until this day, of seeking my abundance in the illusion instead of remembering where my abundance truly is. So I would love to get into a discussion with this. Please comment below. If you're a part of the Patreon, hop on the Discord. Let's support one another. I feel like, at least for me, this is probably one of the hardest places for me to do what my word of the year is, which is trust. So as always, thank you so much for being a part of this community. And if you aren't a part of the Right-Minded Thinkers yet on Patreon, please sign up. We have a live discussion once a month that is just so heartwarming and filled with amazingness, and we would love to see you there. The more, the merrier, the greater it will be. As always, so much love, and remember, you are worth it. Bye-bye.